Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie and today I'm bringing you an original tag. So as you can see by the title, I am doing the Jane the Virgin book tag. This is literally perfect for BookTube because the show does follow a writer who, let's be honest, struggles a lot in her career. So I just thought this would be amazing. I put it together a few months ago and I let it sit in my drafts for quite a long time. Now I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to birth my baby to the world, the Jane the Virgin book tag. If you do this tag, please tag me. Let me know on Twitter. You can find me at Clockwork Femme. Yeah. I'm really excited to see if people actually do this tag. It'll be really interesting. Okay, so we have a list of prompts inspired by Jane the Virgin. Some of them have multiple prompts. I'm gonna do the tag. This is my version of the tag and I'm really excited to see your version. Okay, I'm really awkward today. So the first prompt is accidental insemination, a book that you accidentally discovered. Now, a book that I accidentally discovered is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. It's actually the last book that I read, and if you've seen my vlog, I had quite a confused stance on this book. I still haven't decided how I want to rate it. Check out the vlog. I uploaded it today. Well, the day that I'm filming this, I uploaded it. This will be going up at some point this week, maybe tomorrow. So hi. Yeah, so the Thursday Murder Club follows a group of retired individuals, the elderly, living at a luxury village complex, and they're very into true crime. So they meet on a Thursday and they talk about cold cases, etc. They get in contact with a policewoman, and then eventually a murder happens on their doorstep and they involve themselves to solve it. And the premise is pretty cool, but I just couldn't really vibe with it in the way that I wanted to. So there we go, that's my accidental insemination. The next prompt is Rogelio de la Vega, arguably the best character on the entire show. So obviously in honor of our King Rogelio, I had to make this prompt a 5-star read. So a 5-star read. From the top of my head, I'm thinking of The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I read this book for Whatever-a-thon in June and it absolutely blew me away. We're following these sisters who come together for a revolution of feminism and witchcraft, and it's just absolutely incredible. One of my favorite reads of the entire year. A bonus book. I don't want to do so many books for the questions, but a bonus book is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Absolutely amazing, groundbreaking, emotional book. Everyone that's watching this video has probably already read the book. I don't really want to go too far into what that's about. Essentially, it's about a library that exists between life and death, and our main character is trying to find the perfect life for her. All of her potential lives that are happening at the same time, you know, using quantum theory. She's searching for the perfect one. And at any point where she feels dissatisfied with the life that she's gone into, she's zapped back out and sent back into the Midnight Library. This book has so many life lessons packed into it. I feel like I need to make a video just solely giving my review on it and talking about some of the life lessons. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know, because it's a video that I do want to make. Our next prompt is Jane, obviously the star of the show, but Rogelio though. A book with a swoon-worthy romance. Now, this one took me a while to think about because whilst I've read a lot of romances, when I think of a swoony romance, I just don't think I've read one. And that's insane. That's insane. I'm a 22-year-old woman who's read so many romance books now, yet I can't think of a swoon-worthy romance for this question. I would have to say The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The sapphic relationship within that book is my absolute favourite. It has my heart. So let's go with that. Also for Jane, we have a book that you had high expectations for, but was disappointed by. And a book that I had high expectations for, I'm just gonna say it, and I don't want to keep saying this book, but it's the first book that comes to my head every time I think of a book that I was disappointed by, and that is unfortunately Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This book was so hyped up and I was very intrigued. Colour me intrigued. I was intrigued, but it just didn't do anything for me. Moving on to our next prompt, which is Rose, the villain of the story. The book with your favourite villain and also a true crime book that you enjoyed. So our first prompt is a book with your favourite villain. I'm gonna say Malice by Heather Walter. I absolutely enjoyed this book. I adored it. It's about, is she Maleficent? Maleficent and Aurora. It is immaculate. I loved Malice, and I love how accountable she was. She was very self-aware as a villain, and just I feel like she's very misunderstood. So I would say she's my favorite villain. And if we can call him a villain, I would also say Legend from the Caraval series. But also Ra from Kingdom of the Wicked. I love the villains. I was sat here thinking, I don't love any villains. And now they're all coming to my mind. They're so lovable. So our second Rose prompt is a true crime book that you loved. Now, I didn't really know how to word this question and have it be respectful, because when it comes to true crime, these are people's real life stories and they are graphic and gory and just heartbreaking. So to say that you enjoy true crime just feels, I didn't know how to word it in a respectful way, but I say it with the most respect that I can. I really enjoyed true crime YouTube videos and podcasts. I find them very interesting. The way that the brain works in certain individuals is really fascinating, but I don't condone any of the crimes committed. I just wanted to put that out there, just in case. But I wouldn't say I've read a lot of true crime. The one that I have read is Pretty Little Killers, which is about the Skylar Nice case. Very badly worded title. I would not call it Pretty Little Killers, but that's up for debate. It is about the Skylar Nice case. There's information in there that isn't really shared on YouTube, such as a discussion in a science classroom and other things. This audio, I listened to the audiobook and it just broke my heart. The next one is Alba, a book or author that you have faith in, because obviously Alba is a very religious, faithful woman. So what would be a better prompt for her? So a book or author that you have faith in. I have faith in Stephanie Garber. I just really enjoy the books that she writes, and honestly I feel like I should read some of her other books if she does have them. I'm not really aware if she does. Also Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I discovered her last year. She is an author that I will always go back to. I always gravitate towards her books. So I think those two would be my author that I have faith in. And we have my favorite female character on the show, which is Petra Solano. Obviously she has a huge growth arc throughout the series, so I've put her prompt as a book that you thought you would hate but ended up loving, because Petra really hits like that. You hate her but then you love her and you want her to win, and you get so tired of watching her lose. Heartstopper. I was so convinced that I would hate Heartstopper just because of how hyped up it is, and I was again colour me intrigued because everyone just talked about it all the time, so I was convinced that I would hate it, but it's ended up being my most reread book or series of this entire year. So I would say Heartstopper. I would also say The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I didn't think I would enjoy it. It didn't seem like the type of fantasy that I would gravitate towards, but I ended up really loving it. And I can't wait to get, well, I can wait to get to the other books because that one was so heavy and traumatic, and I can see why there's so many trigger warnings around it. I am not ready yet to read the rest of the series. Elle and Anna, which are Petra's two twin daughters, not named after the Frozen characters, ironically, but I did put the prompt as a favourite fairy tale retelling, and I have many. So I've already mentioned Malice by Heather Walter. That one is incredible, and I have to give it up for my sister Kaylin Bayron. Cinderella is Dead. Absolutely loved it. That has to be my favourite Cinderella retelling. I love the way the world was built and just the characters. I love the sapphic relationship. Oh yes, we're here for it. Next up we have Mateo, Jane's son. And for Mateo, I've done a book about siblings, and there's three that come to mind. Obviously the Caraval series, the sisterly love between Scarlett and Donatella. It's heartwarming. Of course, I love the Kingdom of the Wicked. We have the twin connection, and also the Once and Future Witches. I love a little book about sisterly love. So for Michael and Rafael, this is gonna be the prompt that I most want to see people do. Pick two of your favourite books and decide which one is your ultimate favourite. I've just realised that I'm having to do this. I put this on here to be like, I get to watch people suffer, but now I'm suffering. Pick two books that are my favourites and decide which is my ultimate favourite. Okay, I'm gonna be brave. I'm a big girl. I can do this. It doesn't have to be official. I can delete this video later if I change my mind, which I probably will. So yes. Okay, one of my favourite books is The Lair of Dreams from the Diviners series. And one of my other favourite books is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I need a moment. Let's choose which one's Raphael and which one's Michael. Okay, so obviously The Lair of Dreams will be Raphael because he's more He is the fantasy. He is seen as the fantasy. And Evelyn Hugo is more of a romance, and that is more Michael. Okay, so let's see. I don't even know what team I'm on. Am I team Rafael or am I team Michael? I've been struggling with this for a long time, and I think if it come down to it, I would marry Michael. No, I would marry Rafael. This is a struggle. Evelyn Hugo or Lair of Dreams? I can't do it. I can't believe I've done this to myself. Lair of Dreams, Lair of Dreams, Lair of Dreams. Now I've suffered through that. Jane and Lina, a book about the friendship that you desire to have. So a friendship that I would desire to have in a book. It would have to be the Spinster Club series by Holly Bourne. I just love how connected and passionate about the world and politics and feminism that these girls are, and they always have each other's back and they don't judge each other. And I love their friendship so much. The first book is called Am I Normal Yet? And then it's How Hard Can Love Be? Then it goes to my favorite one in the series, which is What's a Girl Gotta Do? Is that my final answer? Yes. That is my final answer. Now, milkshake. So Jane calls the baby a milkshake to detach herself from it in the beginning when she finds out that she's been artificially inseminated by Raphael's sister. And that helps her kind of like detach from it. So milkshake, a book that you're scared to read or are intimidated by, and I can give you a whole list starting with Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. I'm intimidated by V. Schwab. I've read a preview of Addie LaRue and I understand that her writing is so beautiful, but she intimidates me. She intimidates me. And also, Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which is on my TBR for this month, and am I gonna do it though? That's the question. Am I gonna do it? Am I actually gonna pull through? I'm so hyper right now. So Ziamara, so a book with a pretty cover. There are so many books with beautiful covers. I absolutely love Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. However, I am really struggling with getting into this book. I just think the cover is gorgeous. It just is beautiful. Daughters of Nuri. That cover is also gorgeous. I also love the covers for the Girls of Paper and Fire series. They are immaculate too. I'm just looking at my shelf. The Once and Future Witches. That is a gorgeous cover. No one can tell me that that is not a beautiful cover. It's a beautiful cover. Also, The Kingdom of the Wicked and The Kingdom of the Cursed. Gorgeous. And now we have Virginity Flower. So Jane was always scared into not having sex before marriage, and it was represented by the virginity flower that her grandmother gave her to like scare her out of it. And for that, I've put a book in a genre you don't typically read but would be interested in. And a genre that I don't usually read is sci-fi. And I really would like to get into sci-fi, but I can't think of any sci-fi books from the top of my head. Also, dystopian. My friend is letting me borrow a book about dinosaurs that's like a dystopian story, but I can't remember what it's called. But that one dinosaur book that Chloe's letting me borrow, there you go. second to last question. We are nearly done here. Narrator, the book you wish you could narrate. Story of my life, I take him home, I drive all night to keep her warm in time. It's frozen. Did I mean a book that I want to be in? So I'm telling you the story about my life, or a book that I would want to write? I don't even know my own tag at this point, so good luck to anyone else that does this. The book that I wish I could narrate. Caraval. I would love to take Donatella's place. If you know, you know. Telenovela. Last prompt. Books that read like telenovelas. I would say You Had Me at Hola, but I really didn't enjoy that book and I DNF'd it halfway through. So, assumably, I would say The Worst Best Man. That book is very like romantic comedy, but a telenovela's more, you got the romance, like proper sweep you off your feet romance, but then you've got amnesia and sister back from the dead, murders. I can't really think of a book that has all of that in it. If I'm looking at my shelf, what book would match the telenovela vibe? Bit of a stretch, but maybe The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Maybe? Jesus, I don't know. I don't know. And I didn't even plan any of my answers before filming this video, as you can probably tell, because it's quite erratic, it's quite chaotic. We are here tonight. Okay, so that is everything. If you do this tag, please let me know. I would love to watch it. If this flops, then this flops. I accept that. But yeah, we are done here.